Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. Deformed trees, mutated wildlife, and no humans for miles. 10 years after the disaster at Fukushima, see what this irradiated ecosystem can teach us about nuclear fallout on Radioactive Forest. Plus, looking for the most diverse marine life on the planet? Dive into the Coral Triangle and experience a frenzy of wildlife you've got to see to believe on nature's greatest secret. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Remain calm.
Out of sight.
Be ready for anything.
The pros and cons.
Do not cross the streams.
This is BJ and Migs. Mornings on The Rock. 99.9 KISW.
.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. All right, I think today we're going to start it off with a real-life 21 Jump Street story, because we all love 21 Jump Street. Don't know if you like the movie over the TV show, but there's a woman, and she's got a real-life story, 21 Jump Street style, from back in high school. A transfer student turned out to be an undercover cop. And after the student left there was a giant drug bust at the school. And here she is talking about the whole thing.
My sophomore year, there was a girl who transferred as a junior to our school. Middle of the year, super random, but she said she had moved from somewhere, so it was like, okay. She was really quiet, but she went to a lot of parties and like football games and stuff like that. Went to our school for a year, then out of nowhere disappeared. A few weeks later, there was a giant drug bust at our school. She was an undercover cop. Students didn't know, staff didn't know, principal didn't know. She was in our yearbook. We got 21 Jump Streeted.
Wow, that is awesome. Wow.
So it really does happen.
Yeah, which I'm very, very surprised, because, you know, a lot of times when you watch those shows, you go, none of these actors are really young enough to be in high school. But this one, they found a cop that looked young enough to do it.
When I was growing up, 21 Jump Street, the TV show, was a big deal. So we were all obsessed over it. And we were always like, I wonder if anyone in our school was a member, you know, like, of course they weren't, but we always thought, what if someone's an undercover cop? Then we got to the point where we started pranking one of our buddies, our buddy Sal, because he was the first to be able to grow facial hair. So we all said that we were convinced that Sal was a cop.
Oh, no. Sal was a narc.
Right, so we wouldn't invite him to things, just to screw with them. Like, you know, it only went on for like maybe a couple of months, but he was getting so pissed. He's like, guys, I'm not a freaking cop. I've been with you guys since freshman year. We're like, this is just an elaborate plan. We don't trust you, Sal. Sorry, you got facial hair. And then he shaved his facial hair off.
Oh, no. Yeah. It was the long game from Sal. You know, he was really deep cover.
Yeah, right. He created the whole puberty thing with us just to kind of mess with us. I mean, but
that is really wild that they actually do that. I'm like, did they do that kind of thing? Would they really infiltrate a school and not telling anybody?
Right.
Like they didn't tell, not even the principal knew, which I think, man, if you're the principal, you're like, shouldn't I be in on this? I mean, come on, shouldn't I be part of the big crime ring bust here?
Would that bug you as a principal? Like, would you start thinking, am I not trustworthy? Can they not trust me with this kind of information?
Well, after all, you got a big drug bust at your school. I mean, how, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What if sometimes the adults are in on it. A lot of, you know what I mean? So if they don't know who's involved, I guess they could have thought it was the principal.
Yeah. Oh, man. What an awesome drug bust that would be.
Oh, man, I wish we knew, like, who was involved, if there were any teachers or whatever, or, I don't know, maybe it's the janitor. I feel like the janitor might be involved, you know.
Blaming the janitor, man.
Oh, that guy looks like he's smoking weed. You know what I mean? That guy looks like you know what I mean? He's probably dealing.
Yeah, I think our janitor was a big pothead, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there you go. That's the guy. That's the one that's going to do it. All right. Well, that's one woman's story about 21 Jump Street. We have another question about another woman, about, you know, her and, well, the fact that she's wearing a thong on her face at a supermarket. Why? Well, Steve's going to tell you why. He's got the Migs report for you at 6:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW. 50 years of KISW. Brought to you by Palace Law. You're listening to BJ and Migs. Mornings on The Rock. 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
Well informed on the issues of the day? Not this guy. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, you guys, and thanks to Kia Puyallup for giving us the Migs Report. And, a quick question around the room. I'd like to ask everyone what their favorite type of peanut butter is. Is it crunchy or creamy?
Oh, yeah, crunchy all the way.
Crunchy for BJ, okay.
Creamy.
But I'll take creamy. I mean, don't get me wrong. Do not. I will take whatever you give me.
Vicky, you're into it being creamy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Rev?
Well, I'll go with crunchy.
Okay, well, everyone, first of all, happy National Peanut Butter Lovers Day.
Nice.
And I bring this up because I just came across what has to be one of the dumbest studies that has ever been done, where they did a study examining the peanut butter preferences of Americans to see what it says about you.
Oh.
So they found that people who enjoy crunchy peanut butter, and I don't believe it now after we found out that BJ is the one that likes the crunchy, it puts you in a cheerier outlook on life.
Oh, see, but I don't get enough crunchy. That's the problem. I haven't had crunchy in years.
You need more crunchy.
Yeah.
63% of people said they prefer crunchy peanut butter, and they view themselves as optimists, as opposed to 56% who prefer creamy. So, I mean, it's not much of a big difference. But they also said the creamy ones, they're more of early bird people and introverted.
Okay.
Well,
Kind of fits for me.
Yeah,
I'm a creamy guy.
Yeah, you are. Are you early bird, Steve? I mean, our job makes us this way, but would you be?
No, but in addition to the job and now having a child, I'm an early bird by default. I have no choice but to be an early bird. I don't sleep in, BJ, ever.
Yeah.
And those that like it crunchy, night owls, and they're extroverts.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm an introvert, extrovert. I don't know what you call me.
Well, I'm like that. I love how we're still going on about this, because it's just like the study just cracks me. They say that people are extremely passionate to the point where they'll pass up if they say we don't have creamy, we only have crunchy. I'm like you, BJ. Like, I'm more of a creamy guy, but if it's crunchy, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to not have it. Peanut butter's peanut butter.
Yeah, I like peanuts. I like peanut butter. So why would I be upset if there was peanuts in my peanut butter?
And half of the people surveyed said it would be a deal breaker to find out that their date is on the opposite side. If that's what ends your relationship or your date, you don't deserve to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
You should go talk to somebody.
All right, let's move on from peanut butter to thongs.
What?
All right.
This happened in South Africa, where a woman got kicked out of a Pick and Pay because, well, she did not have a mask and decided, you know what's better than a mask? A thong. And
she's not wrong.
But I don't know if it's a good idea to actually take the thong that you're wearing and then use it as a mask. And that's exactly what happened. It was caught on video and everything. The woman's maskless. Man. They're like, hey, you're in checkout line. That's great, but you got to put a mask on. She's like, no, I'm not putting on a mask. And then eventually they kept arguing about it. And she's like, all right, fine. So she reaches down. She has a skirt on. And she reaches down, pulls her black thong out, puts it over her face, and then says, happy?
Wow.
To which you can hear someone in the background going, good Lord. And yeah, check it out, BJ. There's a woman.
That's the best. I love this woman. She's my new friend today.
That happened to me once. I forgot my mask when I went into the Albertsons, and I didn't think that I should have just pulled my thong off.
Yeah, because you're always wearing a thong. It would have been so easy for you.
And a black thong as well.
Oh, geez.
Wow. Man, I think that could be a new fetish thing, Steve.
I'm going to hard pass on that, but you know what? You do it.
I mean, I think, look, people have all kind of, what if now we get used to people in masks, but now, there's that OnlyFans girl that just wears thongs on her face instead of a mask.
I like that you say this is a new thing. I'm pretty sure it's not.
I was about to say, I'm pretty certain that there's already an OnlyFans that does that.
Oh, really? Ah, man. Well, there goes that side gig I was going to do. Son of a gun, they're taking all my side hustles.
Well, BJ, here's a new side gig for you. You can make some money, or maybe not. A guy in South Carolina tried to make money at a bank by robbing it, but he came up with an interesting way to try and rob the bank. His name is Angel, and instead of going into the bank with a note or, saying this is a stick up, I don't know, whatever bank robbers do, he went up to the drive-thru with the tube. The whole, put the thing in the tube and it goes.
Oh, I love that thing.
Do you know what that's called?
I have no idea.
I mean, tube is in the title, but there's more to it than just the tube.
Is it mnemonic or pneumomic or something?
You're close.
You're so close, and I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you.
Rev, do you know?
Yeah, it's a pneumatic tube.
Hell, if I knew that. I just called it the tube.
Wow, Rev even knew. Is that because you love steampunk?
Sort of, yeah. Just something I learned. I thought it was a cool word, so I just decided to keep that in my vocabulary when I'll never use it.
Well, this guy, he put it in a tube, in the pneumatic tube, and said, hey, put all the money back into this tube and send it back to me. Otherwise, I'd, quote, kill. That's all he wrote. I'm going to kill.
Oh, okay. That's not cool.
So, because he's not in the bank, they had other people calling the cops. And the cops show up while he's waiting in the drive-thru for this tube to show up with the money. And the cops arrest him, of course.
Yeah, he's a genius.
He's a dumbass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, who might be a dumbass are the people who decided on what jerseys two basketball teams are going to wear during a game. I don't know if you guys were paying attention. Maybe Joe was. But the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Atlanta Hawks were taking on each other in a game on Friday. And the problem was that the Atlanta Hawks were wearing their bright red jerseys and the Oklahoma City Thunder were wearing their bright orange jerseys. And, if you're not really fully 100% paying attention, red and orange kind of blend together.
Yeah,
so
what?
People are on Facebook and Twitter and all social media complaining to the point where during the game, mid-game, they had the Oklahoma City Thunder change their jerseys.
That's awesome.
Because they couldn't tell the difference.
I mean, you would think that that's something that everybody would be on top of. Like that would be somebody's job to go, all right, what are you wearing tonight? What are we wearing tonight? Because you never have ever really seen that accident, and then here it happens.
Right. I mean, especially with basketball, I mean, you're passing to someone if you're not, I mean, not only for the fans, but I mean, probably for the players too. If all of a sudden you're just looking over, you're like, oh crap, there's a guy in a dark jersey, I'm going to pass it to him.
Yeah, it's not as simple anymore, Steve. When you had your away jerseys, which I think in basketball are whites, and then the home jerseys, which are the coloreds, but now they have so many different versions that, I don't even know I don't even know if you have a favorite team. Do you know what color they are anymore? Because everyone's got the alternate jersey, this jersey, the black
color
jersey.
Rush, yeah.
Yeah, everything. It's like, I don't know what colors we are anymore. We're everything.
Well, one thing that, speaking of colors, Tiger Woods loves to wear red. That's like his color when he plays golf, right? So he recently just got hurt.
Oh, okay.
In a car injury. So a bunch of the golfers decided to pay tribute to Tiger Woods and wore red shirts during one of their tournament games. And he was very touched by the whole thing. Some even went so far as to have 2 hotel rooms, one for themselves and one for their mistress. And other golfers had their wives smash windows on their Escalades.
Oh, okay.
It was a touching tribute to Tiger Woods.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yes.
Oh, you know what, man? The golf community, they show so much love. So much support.
Dude, how about though he's got to have more surgeries to I mean, that injury was pretty bad in that car crash, and there's some massive swelling that's going on, so they have to release some of the pressure with some of the surgery. He's not, at one point they thought maybe he might lose a leg to this, but they're saying he's probably not going to, but it's going to be a long road ahead of him, so hopefully he gets back and is able to do what he loves to do. Not the hotel part, but the golfing thing.
Well, he's probably not going to. I don't know if he'll be competitively a golfer again if that's the case, because he was kind of, he was kind of on his way out. I mean, maybe the senior tour was where he was going to be good at, but now I wonder if he'll ever be able to golf.
Did he just win like a big tournament?
Did he really?
I don't know. I'm not a golf guy.
I'm not a golfer either. I thought for sure. You may be right, Steve. Yeah, you're possibly right.
I thought he won something like just last year. That was.
I thought he was struggling for a while.
Well, he was, but
yeah. Yeah, you know what? We're golf experts.
He won the Masters, in 2019.
Oh, geez, that's pretty good. All right, never mind. I take it back, Tiger.
But in COVID times, that's like 30 years ago.
Right?
Truth. Yeah, it does feel like that. You know what? You're absolutely right. That felt like a long time ago to me. I didn't realize it was so recent. that he did that well. I really thought that was a long time ago, but yeah, 2019 is really not long ago.
I had a moment of like, what the F this morning? I looked at my calendar. I'm like, today's March 1st. We're now in February. Go.
Take it easy, buddy. I didn't realize it was that big of a deal.
Heads up. Big news today. Today is March 1st, everybody.
Yeah.
Just a reminder for everyone.
But you know what? I usually I'm very excited about this because, the Mariners are already in spring training, so baseball's going to be happening, though it's still probably going to be weird this year.
That's your undefeated Mariners, BJ. They beat the Padres yesterday 5-4 in spring training.
Okay. It's now I know officially spring is coming because Steve's back on the bandwagon.
That's right.
He's back on the bandwagon again.
Your future World Series champion Seattle Mariners.
But it's hard for me to get excited about March. I usually do because of that, Puxatani effer out there that said we're going to have, more weeks of winter than we do.
He's supposed Phil, man. Have some respect.
His real first name is Effer.
Effer, yeah. You can't spell Phil without an effer. Okay.
As far as weather, 55 degrees. It's going to be cloudy today. That's the Migs Report, and that's what's up.
All right. Hey, Steve, I bet you were excited. Did you go see it? Tom and Jerry? Did you go see your favorite movie ever that was out?
It's on HBO Max.
Right.
And the answer to your question is kind of. I started watching it.
Oh, this was the live action CGI hybrid. I would think this would be a giant event in your life.
Well, yeah, we watched it Friday night when it came out. I had to kind of twist my wife's arm. She's like, "Why are we watching this?" I'm like, "It's Tom and Jerry." I thought for sure she grew up loving Tom and Jerry too. And then next thing you know, I'm going into this long, probably very uninteresting conversation with my wife about the history of Tom and Jerry. Like, they used to not like each other, and they didn't talk. And music was such like this classical stuff. It's like that guy in the meme that's just talking that woman's ear off, and she just looks like she just doesn't give an F. I think that was my wife. I'm like, then eventually they started talking, and that's where it went kind of downhill. So I'm very curious on how this is going to go.
So you said you kind of watched it. What happened?
Honestly, dude, my wife fell asleep on it. I never even revisited it because I was just like, I feel like this is a movie we need to watch with our child when our child is old enough to like enjoy this kind of a movie. It's very childish.
Oh, man.
It's good. I mean, it's not like anything bad. It's what you'd expect from Tom and Jerry. And they have a cool soundtrack. I mean, there's some cool music that kind of brought me back to being younger, like Tribe Called Quest and stuff like that. But I didn't need to keep watching this movie, BJ, I'll be honest with you.
How deep did you get into it?
I don't know, like 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, you got the gist of it.
And fell asleep, and I'm like,
the gist of it, yeah.
Yeah, Jerry's you realize Jerry's just a giant D. I mean,
totally.
He's just effing with Tom the whole time.
Exactly. But because Tom is the big guy, it's like it's okay to mess with the big guy. I think probably back in those days, big guys were always bullies, and people always thought of like the big guy always seemed to get his way. And so, you get to be a D and nobody knew you were a D. It's like, oh, you can't be a D. He's the big guy. He's always the D.
I feel like Vicky can watch it with Little Prince Miggs because he's old enough to understand, like at least enjoy a animated human hybrid type of a movie. No?
He's at that age where he doesn't really like live action stuff yet. It's all about the cartoons. And I mean, anything after like the 60s and on is just garbage to me for Tom and Jerry. Like, I like the OG. And I actually decided to look on Rotten Tomatoes. Audience score 85%, but tomato meter 25.
Oh, really? For the new movie? Because it has the second best opening for the pandemic. But then again, I mean, $13.7 million is, great for pandemic opening, but for what movies usually are, I mean, it's February though. So that's the other thing. If it's really, I don't even know, but if they released a movie this time of year, it's not a great movie because they would have saved it for blockbuster time.
Yeah. Well, at this point, they're just like, hey, I mean, do you put it out or do you not? I even saw that, like, in the music industry, like, once this pandemic ends, we're going to be just inundated with, like, new records because then all the bands want to put their stuff out so they could go on tour.
Nice.
Yeah. Something to wait for, at least.
That's going to be a beating if everybody's just launching their stuff at the same time.
Yeah, so I can't really crap on the movie. I think they accomplished exactly what they were hoping to accomplish with this film. It was just like, it's just fine.
Yeah, it's just fine.
I mean, I think it would be a lot of fun if you have kids that can enjoy it, if they're at the age where they can enjoy it. But as an adult, it's like it gets a little. It's too cutesy and stupid. I mean, I liked it, kind of.
Well, it made almost $40 million.
If you're into QC and stupid.
Yeah. And HBO Max, again, they're trying to get people to subscribe to the service. They say it made over $40 million, close to $40 million. I guess in the theaters you could watch it. I'm sure it got a lot of people watching on HBO Max like you, or maybe they got more subscriptions. But just fine. Woo! Now check it out. And Vicky says it's crap since the 60s. So you know what? These are perfect.
It's a real must-watch, BJ.
By the way, these two people with this review, much younger than me, and yet they all sound like they gave the old man review. It's crap, and I won't watch it. I won't expose my child to it at all.
In all fairness, I said it's crap, and I won't keep watching it.
There you go.
Oh, that's right. You were a little bit more.
Touché, sir.
You were a little. You know what? You were a little bit more cosmopolitan. You're a little bit more metropolitan on that one.
Right.
Progressive.
Exactly. So I didn't even think about this. I never thought about the gender of Tom and Jerry. So I said Jerry's a girl.
What?
Is Jerry's
a girl? Jerry's the cat, right?
Jerry's the mouse.
Yeah,
Jerry's the mouse.
Tom.
Oh, of course, Tomcat.
Right. Looking online right now, it says that Jerry is a male. And that's according to the Wikipedia. So,
I mean, not that it matters either way. It's just a mouse.
Right?
I mean, they never told us. So it's not like they ever said anything. But back in those days, they traditionally would give the traditional male outfit or traditional female something, to be able to let you know if there was gender involved back when they first started those cartoons. But I've never seen them look anything just like about a cat and a mouse.
According to a lot of the internet, a lot of people are saying that in a few episodes, since they don't wear clothes, Jerry does wear clothes to go along with typical male clothes, and he does meet female mice occasionally, and they do look different from him.
Oh, yeah. He pulled some sweet mice, honey. I'm not lying.
Oh, you're right.
He did.
He did. He was just slaying mice.
Right. And they were sexy ass mice.
Right.
I didn't think I'd say that on a Monday.
It's a different time. You know what I mean? Now anybody can be slaying anybody. So maybe, you know what? It's not like Jerry came out and said anything. You know what I mean? Jerry just, probably was.
Yeah, he doesn't talk.
Did we miss the Jerry transitioning episode of Tom and Jerry? I mean, I don't know. Did that happen?
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You got to watch more than 30 minutes, Steve. Maybe that happened in the movie.
Oh, someone says at the end of the movie, they even say it's starring Jerome Mouse.
Oh, Jerome the Mouse. Well, that's still... but today, that doesn't mean anything. Anybody can be Jerome the Mouse.
No, not the mouse. Jerome
Mouse.
Oh,
not kind of like
Mouse.
First name Jerome, last name Mouse.
See, it should be
the
Jerome
Mouse family.
Duh Mouse. D-A. Should be Jerome Duh Mouse.
Well, for all we know, that's his middle name. Or her.
Right.
I don't know anymore.
We really don't know.
So I said, dude, it's Tom and Jerry. It's exactly what you'd think Tom and Jerry would be. It's not terrible for what it was made for. Okay, exactly. I'm with you. I don't think
it's not terrible. It's fine. These are wonderful reviews.
I don't think they insulted the Tom and Jerry franchise with this.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
How many U.S. states end in the letter O?
Ohio, 1.
No.
2.
No.
3.
No.
By the way, this is not a time warp. That actually was Friday when he got that wrong. The correct answer actually is 4. You want a shot at beating Steve? All right, you got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs. We'll do that at 6:47 on The Rock.
BJ and Miggs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I have lots of tickets that I haven't paid. Can those be discharged through a bankruptcy?
Yes, there are some limits on what we can do with tickets. Tickets cannot be discharged in a full bankruptcy. In a Chapter 7 case, that won't help you get your license back. But in Chapter 13 reorganization, tickets are dischargeable. Most types of tickets are dischargeable. So you would have to pay back some of the tickets in a Chapter 13 case, but the vast majority of them could be discharged if you complete the plan. And again, you would get your license back right away when you filed the Chapter 13 case, as long as the only reason you don't have your license is because of failure to pay your tickets. But the Chapter 13 process will help you get your license back and repay a small portion of your tickets in most cases, and get your license reinstated almost immediately.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.